Welcome, everybody. Today I have a full body Pilates workout for you. All right, let's get to it. Let's get started with a hamstring stretch. So, laying on your back in a neutral spine, you're just going to draw one leg towards you, stretching the back of the leg. Really try to keep your tailbone on the ground so your butt isn't tucking up and off the ground, and try to keep your hips nice and square. Make sure your T-zone, your deep core muscles, are super tight and your shoulders are relaxed back and down. Okay, let's swap legs. So if you do not know what I mean by your T-zone, please refer to my Pilates Basics video linked below. And remember, when you're stretching, it's a nice gentle stretch. You shouldn't force the muscle. You should just feel the muscle gently relaxing and lengthening. All right, let's get started. So we're going to start with lift foot and extend to warm up your core muscles. So with your neutral spine, you're going to bring one leg into tabletop and then extend it out along the ground. Bring it back and then place it back on the ground. So it's an inhale to lift the leg into tabletop, exhale to extend the leg out, inhale to draw it back to tabletop, exhale to place it back on the ground. Excellent. So really keep that tummy scooped, keep your shoulders relaxing back and down. And when you're lifting the leg into tabletop, there's a 90 degrees at the knees and the hips. So your knee is directly above your hip bone. Beautiful. To make it harder, you can extend the leg lower and further. To make it easier, don't extend the leg as far or as low. Nice work. Keep these going. Let's warm up that core. Keep scooping out the belly. Keep drawing in those deep core muscles. Keep your shoulders relaxed back and down. Keep your hips nice and square so they're not rocking. Nice work. Keep it going. Well done. All right, let's really work that core now. So really draw in your deep core muscles, imprint your spine, and draw both legs up into tabletop. From here, we're going to keep that 90 degrees at the knee and tap the toe towards the ground. So it's an exhale to tap the foot and inhale to bring it back to tabletop. Beautiful. Really scoop out those core muscles, keeping the spine still and the hips stable. It's an exhale to tap and inhale to bring it back to where you got it. Excellent. Keep drawing your ribs to hips so your back is not arching. Keep your deep core muscles tight. Keep your shoulders pulling back and down, your chin tucked in, and focus on that leg staying at 90 degrees. If you want to make it harder, you can increase the angle a little bit at the knee so the foot is tapping away a little bit further, but try to keep the same angle at the knee. You're not straightening or extending that leg. That's it. Excellent work. So just a reminder, during this workout, you should not feel any back, neck, hip, or joint pain. You should just feel it in the muscles that we are working on specifically for that exercise. Okay, moving on. Next, we're doing hundreds preparation, and this works your abdominals. So in the same position with your legs in tabletop, this time squeeze your legs together and bring your hands up above your chest, palms facing the knees. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, you're going to curl the body up, sweep your hands past your hips, and extend your legs to the sky or ceiling. Inhale, come back to your starting position. So exhale, curl the body up, sweep your hands past your hips as your legs extend to the sky. Inhale, back to the starting position. Beautiful. Really focus on keeping your shoulders pulling back and down, chin tucked in, especially as you're curling the body up. And really focus on keeping your bottom on the ground. Now, if your hammies are tight, you may find it hard to straighten the legs and your butt may tuck up off the ground. In this case, you can keep your legs in tabletop and just focus on curling the body up and sweeping the hands. That's it. Keep it going. Exhale to curl up. Inhale to control back down. That's it. Really try to curl up as high as you can, getting those shoulder blades off the ground. Really stretching through those fingertips, lengthening those arms. Really scoop out your belly. That's it. And keep your knees above your hips in that tabletop position. That's it. Keep it going. A few to go. Nice work. So give your knees a little bit of a hug if you need. And we're going to move on to hundreds. Okay, with hundreds, there are 3 levels. The second level is legs squeezed together and straight up to the ceiling. The first level, the easiest level, is bending the knees in tabletop. And the third level is lower the legs down towards the ground, turn the feet out and flex the feet back. Okay, so choose your position, curl the body up and hold this position. We're going to hold the position and count to 100. So your arms are pulsing for 100 pulses. It's an inhale for 5 pulses and an exhale for 5 pulses. Really focus on keeping the curled position. So ribs to hips, imprinted spine, shoulders are pulling back and down, chin tucked in, and really stretch through those fingers. Beautiful work. That's it. Keep it going. A few to go. And they are done. Well done. Okay, moving on. So give your knees a little bit of a hug to release your back and give your core a little rest. And next we're going into bicycle legs. So imprint your spine, legs in tabletop, hands straight up above your chest, palms facing your knees. We're going to curl the body up and stretch your hands past your hips, really reaching through the fingers. Keep the rib to hip connection. Now on the exhale, you're going to extend the leg out and inhale, bring it back to tabletop. To make it harder, you really stretch through the legs and lengthen and lower the leg as far as you can. To make it easier, you can go higher and not as far with the leg. If your upper body is getting tired, you can rest the upper body on the ground like I'm doing and just focus on scooping the belly, imprinting the spine, and extending the legs. Remember to keep those shoulders pulling back and down. If you're keeping the curl up, really scoop the belly, try to get those shoulder blades off the ground. Now, if your neck or upper body is getting tired, but you want to keep the curl up, you can interlace your fingers behind your head and support your head. Keep the curled position, keep those elbows wide, try to get those shoulder blades off the ground. That's it. Remember, you can make it easier by the legs going higher and not as far, or to make it harder, really lengthen and lower the legs. I've given you lots of options today. That's it. Really focus on scooping the belly, imprinting the spine, and making sure that back is not arching, especially as the leg goes out. Please take the rest if you need. We've got about 30 seconds to go. I know this is a long set, but we are moving on to glutes next. So take the rest if you need. Otherwise, pump out a few more. Really focus on your form. We're nearly there. Well done. Okay, next we're doing some glute work. So we're going to do your pelvic curls. So with your feet hip distance apart, we're going to inhale, T-zone, exhale, tuck the tailbone under, push through the heels and slowly roll up your hips one vertebra at a time. So your spine is going to peel itself off the mat one vertebra at a time and then roll it back down one vertebra at a time. So it's an exhale to roll the hips up, getting your hips as high as you can without arching your back. Inhale at the top, exhale, roll down, inhale at the bottom. Now remember, you don't want to hyperextend your back, so you don't want your ribs to flare as you get to the top. You want to keep the rib to hip connection, so you're not arching your back. That's it. See, there's a nice straight line from my knees to my shoulders. All right, the next one, we're going to stay at the top and do openings. So here, again, make sure your ribs aren't popping up and your back isn't arching. From here, pushing through the heels, keeping those glutes activated, you're going to go out and in with the knees. Exhale to go out, inhale to draw the knees back in. It's only a little movement, only a few centimeters out with the knees and then back to neutral where the knees are hip distance apart. Excellent. So keep drawing deep through your core muscles, keep the ribs to hips, keep the glutes firing, keeping the shoulders back and down. So exhale to open, inhale to bring it back to the starting position. That's it. We've only got about 5 more. Okay, so bring your knees back to neutral hip width and pause. So push with heels, rib to hip connection, super tight, T-zone tight, shoulders pulling back and down. We're just pausing in this position. We've only got a few more seconds to go. So keep the glutes firing, keep breathing. We're nearly there. All right, now slowly roll it back down, one vertebra at a time. Okay, next we're doing clams on the elbows. So laying at the back of your mat, so your feet, hips, and elbow is going to be lined up at the back of the mat in one straight line with your elbow directly under your shoulder. And make sure your shoulders are pulling back and down. Your hips are stacked and you're pushing that top hip away from you so both sides of the waist are even. From here, inhale T-zone, exhale, you're going to open the knee by squeezing the glutes, squeezing the heels together, and then inhale to control it back down. Exhale to open, inhale to slowly control back down. That's it. Really working into those outer glutes. So really make sure your spine is not sagging down towards the mat. You want both sides of the waist even. That's it. And really focus on keeping those shoulders back and down. You don't want those shoulders shrugging up near your ears. Really work those shoulder stability muscles between the shoulder blades to pull those shoulders back and down. Now, if it is too much on the neck, or it does feel like it's harder to activate your glutes, you're more than welcome to lay on the side like I'm doing. Just remember the hips are stacked. Both sides of the waist are even. Otherwise, you're up on the elbows. Exhale to open the knee. Inhale to lower. All right, next we're going to circles. So straighten that leg long in line with the rest of the body, no lower than hip height. And we're going to make circles with the legs. Keep that leg nice and straight, toes are pointed. Exhale for a few circles, inhale for a few circles. Now let's change directions. That's it. Now you really need to keep that T-zone tight to keep the hips nice and still. They shouldn't be rocking. And you want to keep the rib to hip connection so your back is not arching, especially as the leg circles backwards. Okay, next we're doing the bent leg raise, laying on the side. So again, push that top hip away so there's a gap between the waist and the floor. Inhale T-zone, exhale, squeeze the glute and lift that leg, keeping the 90 degrees at the hip and knee. So that top leg is just raising above the lower leg. Beautiful. So exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Now to make it harder, you can lift the leg higher, but you just don't want to let those hips rock. So you don't want the hips to rock backwards or move at all. The hips are staying nice and still, so is the spine. That's it. So the only movement is that leg raising, working those glutes. That's it. Keep those shoulders pulling back and down, chin tucked in. Good. Exhale to lift, inhale to control back down. Try not to let the top leg rest on the bottom. Just tap and lift straight back up. That's it. Get those glutes firing. Lovely work. Okay, next we're going into the inner thigh lift. So extend that bottom leg and the top leg is resting on the ground. Exhale to lift the top leg using your inner thigh. Inhale to release. That's it. So nothing should move but that bottom leg using the inner thigh. Keep the hips stacked, keep the gap between the waist and the floor, and the shoulders are relaxed. Obviously, your T-zone, your deep core muscles are super tight. Now, let's make it a little bit harder and not let the leg lower to the ground. So you're just lifting and lowering, but not letting the leg touch the ground. That's it, only a few to go. Nice work. All right, let's do that all on the other side. So we're starting with the clams on the elbows. So line up your elbow, hips, and feet at the back of your mat. Stack those hips, push the top hip away, shoulders back and down, T-zone tight. Exhale, squeeze the glutes and lift the leg. Inhale, control back down. Beautiful. Really working those glutes. Now you may feel the bottom glute because it's fatigued. It may be working as well as the top one. That's completely fine. Just a little Pilates tip. It's good to swap starting sides with every workout. Exhale to lift that knee up. Externally rotating. Inhale to control back down. That's it. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the heels together. Nice work. Keep pulling those shoulders back and down. Okay, let's extend that leg long and we're going into circles. So let's circle one direction. That's it, really squeezing those glutes to make this harder. The leg goes further back and higher. Now let's change directions, circling the leg the other way. Just remember to make it harder. Leg goes back further and higher. And make sure that leg does not drop lower than hip height. Keep breathing. Exhale for a few circles. Inhale for a few circles. Lovely. And we're going into your bent leg raise. So laying all the way onto your mat, stack your hips. Have those legs at 90 degrees. Exhale to lift the leg. Inhale to lower. Again, make sure your T-zone is tight. Your ribs are to hips so you're not arching through your lower back. That's it. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Keeping that top leg in line with the bottom leg. That's it. Make sure your bottom is sticking out a little bit so it's not tucked under. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Make sure your ribs are to hips so you're not arching through your lower back as well. Beautiful. Keep pulling those shoulders back and down. Control the movement. That's it. Have a little rest if you need. My glutes are obviously fatiguing. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Last one. Well done. Okay, extend that bottom leg and we're going into your inner thigh lift. Now, like we said before, it's really important to keep those hips still. They shouldn't move. Keep that T-zone tight. Exhale to lift the lower leg. Inhale to control back down. Nice work. I hope you're having an absolutely beautiful day today. I'm so proud you're here doing your daily exercise, your daily movement. Nothing is better than a workout. Okay, let's go into not resting that leg on the ground. So keeping the leg lifted. Lift and lower, but don't rest it on the ground. Beautiful work. Okay, we're going to roll it onto your belly and do the lower trap activation, just activating between those shoulder blade muscles. It's only a small movement, so your arms are extended straight out in front of you. You can widen them a little bit, but the main aim here is drawing those shoulder blades back and down, making a V. So it's an inhale, T-zone, exhale, slide those shoulders back and down. Inhale, release. That's it. Keep tucking your tailbone under. Keep your core tight. Just one to go. Okay, now we're going into flight. So laying in that same position, but really tuck your tailbone under so you're not going to arch through your lower back. Keep the rib to hip connection. Lift the upper spine, extend the arms out straight. Keep the shoulders pulling back and down. And then we're going to rotate palms up, palms down. Now keep tucking your tailbone. Keep the core super tight. Keep lifting the belly button towards your spine. Inhale for a few rotations and exhale for a few rotations. Really working those posture muscles. Now you shouldn't feel this through your lower back or neck. Make sure your chin is tucked in and your head is not hanging down towards the ground. Keep it up in line with the rest of the body and the shoulders pulling back and down. That's it. If your neck is getting tired, you can rest your forehead on the ground and continue on. All right, we're moving on to some chest work. This works your chest and arms, and we're going into the Pilates push-up. So hands just at the edge of your mat, and we're going to lower your chest in between the hands. So you may need to reposition where your hands are. But as you come down, we're going to drop your chest between the hands. And then exhale, drive it back up. Now remember your neutral spine. So we want a nice straight line from your head to your knees. If you're on your toes, it would be from your head to your toes. And we're going to inhale as we go down, exhale as we drive up. Now we're actually doing 3 levels down. So 1, 2, 3, and then 1 drive up. So 3 levels down, lower, 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 and then one drive up. That's it. Keep these going, only a few to go. That's it. Really working your chest. Squeeze your pecs to drive back up, keeping the shoulders pulling back and down. You're doing amazing. Last one. Well done. They are done. Okay, next we're doing tricep circles. This works your triceps and your shoulders. So in an all four position this time, with your hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips, and in a neutral spine, you're going to inhale and lower the body down towards the ground, keeping the elbows squeezing in close to the body so your elbows are pointing straight back. Exhale, drive and circle your body forward, up and back around to your kneeling position. That's it. Keep those shoulders pulling back and down and really work the triceps. Keep that neutral spine. Try not to sag through your lower back or stick your butt up in the air too much. That's it. And really focus on your triceps doing the work and the shoulders pulling back and down. Now, mostly I see elbows winging out to the side. So can you squeeze them close to the body? Can you feel your triceps? I sure do. Awesome work. Okay, next we're doing some leg work. These are your squats, and this will work your legs and glutes. We're going to add a little bit of an arm movement too to work between the shoulder blades. So feet hip width apart or a little bit wider, and we're going to squat down. So sit your bottom back and down, keeping your knees in line with the middle toes and over your feet as much as possible while maintaining your neutral spine. Keep your shoulders back and down. Keep your core tight and ribs to hips so you're not arching through your lower back, especially as you squat up and pull those shoulders back and down. Nice. All right, next one, we're going to squat and hold. So keeping the knees in line with the middle toes, weight through the heels, squeezing your glutes. Hold this position. Keep the core tight. Keep the shoulders pulling back and down. We've only got 1 more second to go. Excellent. Push to the heels and squeeze your glutes. Come back up. Nice work. Okay, we're going to start winding it down. We're going to do the Pilates roll down. So standing at the base of your mat in a neutral spine with your shoulders back and down and T-zone super tight. We're going to imagine peeling yourself off a wall, one vertebra at a time. So tucking your chin and then rolling down your upper back, mid back, and your lower back until you're hanging down with your arms towards the ground. Keeping that T-zone tight, you're going to then unroll yourself back to standing. So tuck your tailbone under, ribs to hips, then roll up your lower back, mid back, upper back, and head until you're up nice and tall. And do that again. Nice and controlled, keeping your core tight the whole time. Okay, next one, you come down towards the mat. We're going to then walk your hands out into a high plank position. So a nice straight line from the crown of your head to your feet. Core super tight, ribs to hips. Now squeeze your glute as you lift one leg at a time, keeping that leg nice and straight and using your glute to lift the leg, keeping the hips still, keeping the rib to hip core tight, lifting the upper spine up to meet your shoulder blades so you're not sagging through your upper or lower back. That's it. You're doing amazing. This is our last exercise. It's working our core, shoulders, glutes. We don't have long to go. Give it all you've got. Keep those shoulders pulling back and down. Lift the upper spine. Squeeze the glutes. You're nearly there. 3, 2, and 1. Well done. From this plank position, pike your bottom up and send your bottom up towards the sky, keeping your back in neutral. You can have your knees slightly bent, that's fine. The main aim is to keep your neutral spine so your back isn't rounding. That's it, tummy tight, and this is stretching out the back of the legs. Keep the T-zone tight, tummy tight. And then we're going to come down into your all four position and then sit your bottom down towards your heels. Extend your arms straight up Stretching your underarms, your lats, and maybe a little bit of the lower back if it's tight. Keep those arms nice and straight and really lengthen out through them, stretching out through the arms and fingers. That's it, and sinking your bottom down towards your heels. Nice deep breaths to relax your nervous system and relax your muscles. You have done amazing today. It was a challenging workout. I hope you are feeling really good for doing it. That's it. Inhale, T-zone, exhale, sink a little deeper into the stretch. Nice. We're nearly there. And from here, we're just going to go into the mermaid stretch. So sitting on your sit bones, both knees bent, both feet in the same direction, with the front leg, the sole of the foot up against the thigh of the other leg. Sitting up nice and tall through your spine. Inhale, T-zone, exhale, lift the arm up overhead. Inhale, T-zone, exhale. Leaning over, stretching down the side body, stretching through the arms. Beautiful. Let's do that all on the other side. So T-zone tight, sitting up nice and tall through your spine. Inhale, T-zone, exhale, lift the arm up overhead. Inhale, T-zone, exhale, stretching down the side body, stretching through the arms. So the palm of your hand is stretching over your head in the same direction as your feet are pointing. Inhale, T-zone, exhale, stretching out to the side, really lengthening through your arm, your fingers, feeling that beautiful stretch down the side body. And we are done. Well done. I hope you loved today's Pilates whole body workout as much as I did. I hope you're feeling amazing and ready to enjoy the rest of your day. Have a great day. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.